They've changed meanings of English words and phrases. And most don't even know, thinking you've landed in a country where English is the official language. They have oddly changed meanings to basic English words by Alright Mearings, published 10 months ago, updated about 2 hours ago. 10 minutes read, quick edit comment. Like, share, created by the author using Canva. Sunday, April 30th, 2023 by Tibia Boj. After 2 years of living in the country, I still haven't learned all the changed meanings of words. Never realizing this is why so many had no idea what I was saying. You think, wow, great, English is the official language. Many pretend to fully understand you. They often don't. I know to speak slowly after living in Kenya. Side note, many people mock Americans using the term soccer, where the world uses the word football to talk about the same sport. However, the Europeans that created the sport named it soccer and later changed it. Just for your information, when they're smiling too much, you have to ask, do you get me? Sadly, you'll realize many don't. You can't speak too quickly, but also don't use words that are regionally based in the United States. They are useless in any country outside of America. In Ghana, so is sarcasm and jokes. I've had people laugh at the most cruel things and not get simple jokes. Common sense isn't always common. I learned some things the hard way. For example, Ghanaians say, I'm coming. This is a basic, easy concept to understand. You think it is in your brain. Created by the author in Canva. I'm coming to them means they're leaving you, then coming back. This was the one phrase that caused me so much fury. I was bringing in my clothing from off the line outside. It was at the hottest part of the day. Ebo exits the house. As I'm going inside, he says I'm coming. Since I'm going inside, I waited for him, my arms filled with clothes. I watched him climb the hilly driveway of the family home. He walks out of my view. I stand there waiting for a moment, thinking surely he's coming, so I'll wait. He didn't return. So now I am thinking, oh, okay, he's going to bring in the rest of my clothing. Good. I go inside and start to fold. After more than 30 minutes passes, the sun is starting to shift. I went outside with a bottle of water. I get the rest of my clothing off the line. I am still waiting for him. I'm now very hot, annoyed at him for making me wait. I text my ex, who was a soldier in the Ghana army. I told him my issue. He quickly turns to the video option. When the video comes on, all I hear and see is him laughing hysterically. I ask, why is he laughing? He says he's not coming back until later, still laughing, which makes me infuriated even more. That day I learned that I'm coming doesn't mean I'm coming, but I'm leaving. How can people not know the real meaning of this term? I surely thought to myself, it is common. They have no idea that this isn't correct either. They will get angry if you tell them that's not what it means. In other countries, screenshot from Facebook housing page, hotcakes, basic common phrase meaning pancakes. I've heard this even in Canada as well. This term means pancakes. Ghanaians know what pancakes are. There are a few restaurants that serve pancakes. They taste so terrible to me. They use something in their batter that makes them heavy, nasty, and taste like fufu, which makes my stomach hurt. I've tried pancakes in so many places I just gave up. Though they do make French toast that is acceptable in some cafes that cater to foreigners. Ghanaians don't eat an English-style breakfast as you would find in many other African countries. Wakai WT wache is commonly eaten for breakfast. Look it up to see a photo of this meal, which looks nothing like a morning meal. This is how a Ghanaian defined the word hotcakes. What does cake and hot have to do with a building? I will never know. And at this point, I don't want to try to figure out the mindset of the Ghanaian. Massa, daddy, mommy, boss, chairman. These are supposed to be terms of respect to someone. Massa, an old slave term, is taught to police officers and military officers. They are told to call someone higher in rank than the massa. This is from an African country with slave chambers on the Cape Coast of their country. Calling each other massa is acceptable? No, they don't know that the enslaved Africans were beaten, then forced to call their white owners this, nor do most care. American chattel slavery isn't taught in their curriculum. I've asked and checked. As many Ghanaians have said, slavery was a great thing to happen. One wishing his ancestors hadn't missed the boat. His words. Harris visits door of no return. Some Ghanaians applaud slavery. Blacks are now enjoying Western. Same old white supremacy rhetoric from African mouths. Medium Tibia Bojmar 28, 2023. Kofi Jamar. Ghanaian praised slavery. I'm going to say it. Ghana is a harmful, racist country. For I know Black Americans will disagree, especially the ones who never traveled Ghana alone. With light skin. Medium Tibia Boj APR 21, 2023. Above are examples of Ghanaians applauding American slavery. One named Kofi Jamar is a famous Ghanaian who took to Twitter to applaud slavery. Several people loved his tweet. No please, yes please. Ghanaians considered themselves the politest people in the world. They think this means morality, but polygamy, cheating, beating women isn't immoral. Sorry, this boils my blood, and find it often in the country. I've been told, by more people than I can count, that they are indeed the politest people in the world, because they say so. They answer your yes or no questions with no please, or yes please, because that is polite. Not no thank you or yes thank you. They must beg for your please. Another thing that leaves you questioning, please? What? What would you like? I asked a man this for the longest time, and he continued to say no please. He said this 6 times when I said, sir, you keep saying, please, I don't know what you want from him. He never understood. I think he thought I was the rudest person in the world. Oh, another common thought is that Americans are rude. Black American racist code words you hear in the American media is also commonly used towards black people from America in their private conversations. They call you fat mommy, biggie fatty, white. I'm black. Well, I walk in the streets daily, but they don't consider calling you fat rude. I was told I should not get mad about this, because they don't mean to insult you by calling you fat in Triabalo, while pointing and laughing. They don't mean harm. They are being polite. Discrimination in housing and employment. No, Nigerians. It isn't discrimination in Ghana. It is just an owner protecting their property. Asking for Christians only, which is also common practice, isn't discrimination. A Ghanaian can have whoever they want living in their property. It's only discrimination if they're in another person's country, and they don't want a Ghanaian or a black African living in their property. Remember this when you are refused service or something in Ghana. The politest people in the world are allowed, but no one else in the world is allowed. No Nigerians, please. Xenophobic hatred for Nigerians. In Africa, the first African country where I learned of such hatred was Ghana, and people continue to overlook this hatred. Then I learned about South Africa confessions. This is what discrimination looks like, as Ghanaians don't see xenophobia, unless it's from a white. Again, several Ghanaians seem to think discrimination isn't a thing when they refuse housing to Africans from other countries. Racism in Africa. TV Abwoj, May 25, 2023. Respect yourself. Simple, right? No. Hell no. The meaning in Ghana. Don't say something to someone that will make them angry, that will cause them upset, and make them mad at you. Wait, what? It doesn't mean to carry yourself in a manner that is respectful, like covering your body parts, or not making babies outside of your marriage with many women, which is never mind. It means don't say something to a Ghanaian to make them angry. Blackie, darkie, or insulting names called to darker-skinned blacks in Ghana. You can't get mad because they are being friendly. The same with calling black people white people. A brony akada, a Nigerian Yoruba term which is insulting for black Americans. Or yuvu, which means dirty. Tricky dog, another term for white person used for blacks from America. See, they're being polite by calling you animals. And white people. A Ghanaian man said, you should be flattered to be called a white person, when you're not. He really said this to me. You should be flattered to be called a white person. Several Ghanaians said I should be flattered to be considered white in Africa. Racism in Africa. TB Abwoj, May 25, 2023. Galamasi, Ghanaian. Made up term for illegal mining. Easy, but when you first hear this you might have to ask what it means. Millions have no idea it's only a term used in Ghana. Curse words, swear words. They don't use this terminology at all. A curse in Ghana is likened to a literal curse placed on your life as done in voodoo. Yet you will see these words used in their media. Profanity is often in their media, and they don't care. They are talking about morality and religion because they are the most moral, polite humans in the world, though they continue to call a woman's rear end or buttocks by the above word. If a foreigner, anyone in Ghana is a foreigner, even if you're Ghanaian, and your family has lived in the country for generations, you are a foreigner, like the thousands of Lebanese, or those born there from other African countries. Especially if your skin isn't dark or you belong to a smaller tribe, you are not Ghanaian according to many. She is speaking about God and religion, and saying the above profanity word several times. She thinks this is perfectly acceptable, or perhaps the cover of the newspaper below is also acceptable too. From the Ghana Chronicle newspaper, slippers they call flip-flops slippers. Charlie Wattas are flip-flops. They call them slippers, not the fuzzy house shoes that you won't wear outside. They call flip-flops and slides. Even Crocs are called slippers. They are not, but don't inform them. Even Google in Ghana will show them as slippers. Foodstuffs, food seasonings, peppers and onions, which most people call food, they call foodstuffs. Yes, stuff means many, but they put an S on a lot of words. Slept off instead of just slept. First time I heard this I thought the person died in their sleep. No, just went to sleep. But they added off, because it's fun to annoy the world. Weed is we home used instead of just used. If you purchased a used item, even if it's for a car, it's called home used. Don't know why. I thought this term was just for items used in the home. No, it means it's used why at the home. I was told Ghanaians like to shorten things by making words longer with the exception of weed, marijuana. They take the D off because why waste time with D when you can have we. Also a Ghanaian parent called wee which is a penis. Wetting the bed. Yes, girls can wee the bed too. Electric in Ghana doesn't mean the same as electricity. Electric isn't the service you get in your home. No, it only means electric items. If you don't say electricity, you are laughed at and called stupid. Well, I was several times. When the electricity goes out, they say lights out because God knows you only use electricity in your home for the lights. Nothing else. Everything else is powered by your tears from being called white when you're black and fat mommy when you walk outside. All day long, every day. Paste. Instead of saying brushing teeth, you use toothpaste to brush your teeth. Many call it paste. Makes no sense. But you think that way you are the problem. Rubber is not a condom, but a plastic bag. Items that are plastic are called rubber. Why? Because this is run, that's why. English names like Regina or Regina like vagina. This goes for Priscilla is Priscilla. Live. Leave is used meaning they leave in Ghana. Live meaning something is breathing, and is alive without the A is not used. Live meaning I live in Ghana is used as leave in Ghana. Again, many Ghanaians will say they don't use these terms, but many do use it. Sponge, not a sponge, though many wash their bodies with an item that appears to be a net. They use this item and call it a sponge. It isn't a sponge at all. In the photo below of my ex, the item he's wearing around his neck, the dark green long thing, yes, that is called a sponge. He bathes with one like it but in a different color. They wear them around their neck to catch perspiration. I guess or to look cool. I'm sure there are many more that I'm missing. But this article would turn into a dictionary if I continued. Sadly, this leads to a lot of misunderstanding in Ghana, where you won't even know what happened. I asked a driver to show me to a shop that sold towels. He took me to a shop that sold tiles for the floor. That day he taught me that they call towels a different name, which I don't remember. I'm sure many will deny this. I never lived in a wealthy rich foreigner area of Ghana. I lived around everyday working Ghanaians, and these are the words they used.